Hello, I'm Jane Lorenzen, President of the Iowa State Bar Association. As a lawyer, I have frequent interaction with the courts. However, most Iowans go through life with little or no contact with our court system. They might go to the courthouse to pay a traffic ticket or appear for jury duty, but otherwise, they have little experience with our courts. Even so, there is so much more to the work of the courts than the occasional high-profile case that attracts public attention. The bulk of their work involves everyday problems that affect ordinary Iowans. The courts provide a safety net for abused and neglected children. They help shield victims of violence from further harm. Our courts work to address and prevent juvenile delinquency, and they are the primary methods Iowans use to resolve disputes involving business and consumer issues. Our courts instill order in the lives of broken families. They play a primary role in public safety and the enforcement of criminal laws. And most important, they protect the right that our state and federal constitutions guarantee each and every citizen of the state of Iowa. Our courts ensure that the laws passed by the legislature are enforced consistently, impartially, and fairly. At the same time, they have an obligation to safeguard the constitutional rights of every person accused of a crime.
The courts impact Iowans in a very fundamental way, and that is that they provide that we have the rule of law in our state. Sometimes it's taken for granted because they and everybody do a good job of it, but that's a very basic part of a civilized society, indeed a one that's well run, that the rule of law prevails and people can get justice, impartial justice through the courts. It's very important.
Although heinous criminal cases often receive the bulk of public attention, Iowa's courts resolve thousands of business disputes each year. Without the courts rendering impartial judgments, the state's businesses would be unable to produce and sell their products and services. As a result, the economic engine that drives our state would be seriously impaired.
My name is Gene Elliott. I'm President and CEO of Elliott Equipment Company. We have offices in Davenport, Iowa, Des Moines, and Lincoln, Nebraska. I recently had a business dispute with an out-of-state company. The court system worked in an expeditious manner. We filed suit. We went to trial. The process worked. The court system worked. The judge worked. And fortunately, we got a favorable ruling. I don't know how some businesses can afford to wait to decide such major issues. In economic times like this, that could put some companies out of business.
Perhaps nowhere is the court's effect on our state seen more than with our young people, our state's future. Troubled youth impact everyone in a community, even those not directly involved.
In the judicial system, we have the Juvenile Court Services branch, and across the state of Iowa, we have currently about 166 juvenile court officers that work with kids who have committed delinquent acts. A total of about 26,000 young people were supervised by Juvenile Court Services across the state of Iowa last year. And of the cases that we see, 2/3 do not commit new offenses. Last year, across the state of Iowa, the clients of Juvenile Court Services did 203,000 hours of community services out in our communities. We helped redo trails and parks. We helped clean up along roads. We helped clean schools during break. A number of things that really were a benefit to those communities. And those kind of services that those kids do help them understand that their actions have consequences.
Courts play a critical role in the lives of abused and neglected children. They assist in foster care placement, in reuniting children with their biological parents, and with adoption, if that's in the child's best interest. The One Judge, One Child initiative that the courts have implemented does a lot to make these children's lives better.
I'm Regina Johnson. My husband Michael and I have adopted 8 children, and our oldest being 18 and the youngest being 2. Our oldest was a private adoption in another state. However, the younger 7 we adopted through the state of Iowa through the foster care system. One of the really cool things that I think is the fact that our state does a one judge, one child situation. And what's really phenomenal about that is that this judge not only knows this child and where they're going, but they know about their history and the birth family that they come from. And then if it ends up that that child isn't able to be reunified with their birth family and needs a permanent home that would be an adoptive home, that same judge is most of the time the same judge that does the finalization for the adoption.
It's a sad fact of our society that many Iowans are taken advantage of. That's especially true for those with little education or money. Courts give all citizens a chance to be heard, a chance to receive justice. In many cases, it's their only chance of fighting back, of preserving their dignity.
We're an organization that provides free legal services to low-income people in all 99 counties in the state. So we are working with the judicial branch throughout the state. Low-income people's need for the court system is important because it's basic necessities of life and safety that low-income people rely on the court system to provide them. Access to a quality court system is fundamental for all Iowans, whether they access the court system or not, because their neighbor will access the court system. If they don't have that access, the ramifications to the community and to the state can be devastating.
Iowa's courts issue hundreds of thousands of decisions each year. They serve the citizens of Iowa by fulfilling the promises of our Constitution. They provide a framework for due process. They are the protectors of individual liberties. Iowans have good reason to be proud of the integrity and efficiency of our judicial branch. Guided by the rule of law and committed to impartiality in all decisions and actions, the Iowa Judicial Branch delivers high-quality justice and service to all Iowans.